This report opens a very interesting door for the Los Angeles Dodgers, as multiple reports have already come out surrounding the shortstop position for the Dodgers, and one name in specific has rejoined the conversation to take over for Mookie Betts, with reports of Bo Bichette being favorited to the Dodgers. We have a lot to discuss here about what the future plans hold for the Dodgers at their shortstop. We're going to be breaking it all down here in this video. Before we do jump into it though, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you one favor, and that's if you haven't already, be sure to hit the sub button. Join us here on the channel, as free agency is now well underway. The Dodgers still have a lot more to do, and with a lot of stuff coming, we're going to be breaking down and having a video on every single move that is made, and it's 100% free, so be sure to hit that sub button. But we got to jump straight into this report, and ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, I'm sure we're all very familiar with what's been going on with this Dodgers free agent market and where things at this point in time are being allocated. And of course, all the big names, this pitching, of course, Kyle Tucker, a lot of interesting moves have been reported, but one in specific caught a lot of people off guard, and that was this report regarding a shortstop and a projected $189 million All-Star in free agency, being Bo Bichette. Now, with everything that has gone on thus far, the reports about Bo, everything else that we've been hearing on this front, this was a move that a lot of people were like, hey, this is an interesting one. I certainly do like this, and this still all does come with Mookie Betts being the shortstop for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and with this team looking for a three-peat, these moves have the best opportunity to be made. Now, the big one that we need to discuss here is from a report about a month ago, which is now starting to resurface with all of these reports regarding Bo Bichette being favorited to the Dodgers, and this comes from Ruben Amaro Jr. You may see one of the big contracts moved out of Philadelphia. I'm not saying who, and I know there are a lot of no-trade clauses, but you may see one of those big contracts get moved somehow, some way. This report, now being sparked again, is causing a lot of swirl surrounding the Dodgers fan base, with the reports of Bo Bichette, with still a lot of other favorites being towards the Blue Jays to get him back. It does cause a bit of interest to see how Andrew Friedman and this Dodgers team is going to go about with their infield. And we know the Dodgers infield right now still could use some work. It has been good. We've saw the shades of it, and we've saw at its best. However, with Mookie being a little bit older, getting a little bit older, playing a new position at shortstop, you have to wonder if they want to move him back to somewhere he's more comfortable with, more familiar with, if you can upgrade any position on the infield. And that does seem like at this point right now, it would be shortstop. So Trea Turner, once again, a former Dodger, is being in the conversation again to be brought back by this Dodgers team here via trade in this offseason. And with this infield as it currently stands, it could use some work. And I don't want to say by any means that this is a bad infield, especially with Tommy Edman at second, Muncy at third, who of course did have his option picked up, and on shortstop Mookie Betts. But like we've been talking about, with these reports about some superstar shortstops being reported, kind of being linked to the Dodgers at this point, because we know that if there's anybody the Dodgers have been in, not necessarily contact with, but rumored with, it can be more than a link. The Dodgers are able to make it happen, and at this point, the curiosity of having Mookie back at second or even in the outfield, with what we saw in the postseason, having a guy like Trea Turner at shortstop, that is very hard to go ahead and pass up, especially if a Dodgers team like this is looking to go for a third World Series in a row. Now, there's a lot of conversation going on surrounding how this would happen, and Anthony Stitt from Forbes, where this article was, and I'll have this in the comments down below to give it a read for you guys. Of course, it was a month ago, so there is no link to the Dodgers from that, but with what we can work out on, things are looking very interesting. But Anthony Stitt here says Turner has 8 years remaining on his 11-year, $300 million deal. Both Harper and Turner would have to waive their no-trade clause for a deal to get finalized, and this is something I think there would be no worries about for the Los Angeles Dodgers, for any of them. Of course, they love Philadelphia, but going for a three-peat, pretty hard for a player to pass up. Now, when you go and take a look at how things have played out this far for not just the Dodgers, but Trea Turner as well, he's on a $27 million payroll at this very moment. A price which, among shortstops, significantly, a big boost to what they have right now between anybody on the infield would add quite a pretty penny to their salary. Now, when you go with Bo, and this is kind of why things may be making it a little bit easier for the Dodgers to make this happen. Bo, at 27 years old, going on 28, projected a $23.3 million contract, ninth ranked among shortstops. So you're getting a cheaper price. You're getting a little bit better of a power bat. You're getting a better contact hitter for the most part. But in a guy like Trea Turner, he is what the Dodgers could utilize in not just contact hitting, but speed and having his ability to field everything that would work and have shown some lacks in this Dodgers lineup. Trea Turner would once again, as we previously saw in his career, help the Dodgers out to get back to, a full kind of rhythmed infield with having players having specific things. And when you're coming down to the savant as well, this is another thing that really shows the difference between these two players. And at this point, you can kind of judge what would be better for the Dodgers going off your opinion, and we're going to get to that here in a moment. Trea Turner, you see, his batting, little bit less power and significantly less than Bo and a little bit less contact. Pretty solid batting average, though. Great fielding, great base running, and just an overall very solid player, and is a player that just about every single team would want to have a Trea Turner in their lineup. You go then to Bo Bichette. He's someone who you see much more on not just the batting average, nearly 300 in his career, but his slugging, his on-base percentage, his WAR, everything has really been an extreme level of hitting, and one that would suit the Dodgers, fit their scheme, fit everything that they have done, and also fill a few more holes in there with the contact over power. But when you're looking at Bo Bichette, he's a guy that don't mind chasing a ball. He's a guy that when he does strike out, it's a bad one, but he's a contact hitter day in, day out, and whatever you do, have him 1 and 2 with Ohtani, it would work out very well. You could also say the same, though, for Trea Turner, and with a lot of this conversation going around these two, there is two massive opportunities here for the Dodgers, and I'm here to kind of plead my case for Trea Turner, with Jace had his video on Bo Bichette, and I really want to see what you guys think here in the comments below as well. And before you guys do go comment down below, I'll leave you with this, and this is another very interesting to take a look at right here when you're looking at the statistical comparisons between contracts similar to Bo Bichette heading into next season. I'll pull this up on the big one. Take a pause here, take a look at this. The game played, hits per game, RBIs per game, strikeouts per game. You can read it, OPS, everything like this. Trea Turner, statistically, and I'm not going to say in a couple years it'll be different, Trea Turner right now is quite a bit, on the more ideal side for the Dodgers. And I think this comes down case to case as well, because when you're looking at a guy like Bo Bichette, who has that power, we know the 3-run home run that thought that the Blue Jays would have had their World Series win there, ultimately didn't come down to that. They have a lot of players that the Dodgers could trust. Bo Bichette will be one of them with that play style that you saw there in that game. You get a guy like Trea Turner, who in a second stint with the Dodgers would fill in very nicely on a lineup with the fielding on shortstop. I think a lot of this will come down to what they plan to do and what they would want to do with one Mookie Betts, whether the outfield's back at his home, whether they want to keep him on short, whether second is an option, because we know Bo Bichette can also play second over Tommy Edman when he did come back from that knee injury in the World Series. That was his first time playing second base in his career, so that may be in the cards for a change for Bo Bichette, and I think a lot of the options here that this Dodgers team does have right now, with Trea Turner emerging as another option, is something very serious that Andrew Friedman needs to consider. So I leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know. Would you rather Bo Bichette or Trea Turner? Give me a B for Bichette in the comments, or a T for Trea Turner. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this, how things really will play out in your mind, and really what the Dodgers' biggest need will be. If it is going to be one Trea Turner, or if you're looking for a little bit more power, a little bit more contact, but you're okay with giving up a little bit of fielding with Bo Bichette, and whatever lies in his future on the infield, questions will still have to be asked about wherever he does end up. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think here in the comments below about this. What would you rather? Who would you rather? And also, if there's anybody else that you would like to see not named here in this video, perhaps jump onto the infield for the Dodgers heading into next season, and I leave you with that question as well. So let me know what you think here in the comments below. That's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like and hit the sub button as well. Remember, it's 100% free. And if you're at this point in the video, you obviously want to get all your Dodgers news every single day, and we're going to have it right here. That's all I got, though. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.